Are you ready for some football? I am. Did you see where that ref threw a penalty flag at a player and the player got in that ref's face and said, "Judge not, lest ye be judged"? Can you believe that? Well, you shouldn't, because it didn't actually happen. But I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility in our world that has hijacked Jesus' words to advance tolerance and blur the lines between right and wrong. You know, what's right and true for you, that's true. And what's right and true for me, well, that's true. Is that what Jesus is saying in his word? Let's take a look. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Do not judge so that you will not be judged, says Jesus. Is he really saying that we are not to judge between what is right and what is wrong in this world? What kind of a world would that be? It would be like a game without penalties. Go ahead, rough the passer, crush the kicker, crawl all over the back of the receiver. The one who wins that game isn't the one who gets the most points. It's the one who gets out of there alive. God is saying, no, I want you to know what is right and what is wrong. That's why he gave us this book, so that we can discern what is right and wrong in his eyes. But there's a difference between discernment and condemnation, between discerning what's right and wrong and condemning an individual for what is wrong. And that's what Jesus is talking about in this text. So let's take a look at it again, but this time the whole context from Matthew chapter 7, again beginning at verse 1. Do not judge so that you will not be judged. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. And by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take that speck out of your eye, and behold, the log is in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the log out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Hypocrisy. That is what Jesus is talking about in this text. Judging or condemning someone else for their faults while ignoring our own sins. That is what God is calling foul in this text. You know, we all want to feel special, but too often we find our value by devaluing others, by finding faults in them and not seeing our own faults. And Jesus is warning against that in this text. We don't score points with God by finding faults in others. We find our victory in the Lord when we see our own sins and we recognize our need for our Savior, Jesus Christ. That is when we win with God. Thanks for joining us in the deep end this week. We'll see you next Wednesday.